Alright, I'm here with an Xbox, original Xbox controller type S, or S-type, I'm not entirely sure what they call them, that's got a pretty gnarly bent cord. And other than that, I mean, it's got a torn up joystick, worn down joystick, but it seems to work otherwise. If I jam the cord down in there, it seems to do okay. So what my goal here is going to be is to take this apart, see if we can trim this cord and solder it down in there. I'm gonna try not to get up to here, so I'm gonna have some length constraints to deal with here, but we're gonna see what we can do. So first steps always first, we're gonna take these screws out. There's 20 million screws on this thing, as you can see. Just kidding, there's 7. Still quite a lot for this. It's very crunchy. Usually not a good sign, but these things are about 20 years old or so. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. See if we can drop these screws out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, come on. Don't be stubborn. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where'd my 7th one go? Ah, here and there still. And 7. All right. I'm going to start. Well, yeah, we're going to start with the other side. So the buttons will usually fall in to the bottom there. All right, and there we go. There's the inside of our Xbox S-type controller. And you know what? While I got it apart, what I gotta do, tossed into a bin. Tossed in the dishwasher. And what we have here is our cable, which I'm not sure if this boot will slide at all. I'm gonna try, because I want to keep this boot, if at all possible. Otherwise, we're gonna have to source it from somewhere else. But look at that. That vibration motor is pretty nasty. What's really neat, though, is I kind of wish they kept these with future controllers, but I actually have a detachable. Maybe there we go. Detachable vibration motor. I love that. They saved costs by eliminating those in the future, but you know what? Man, quality of life when it comes to repair. Save me some soldering, I'll tell you what. That's nice. Let's see how these things come off. Wow. This is definitely different technology than it used to be. Or than it is now, I mean. Alright, let's see if we can get this. How does this come off? Or does it? Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Never seen that before. I might just look for some new ones of that for that. Joysticks all seem good. I didn't have any issues using them when I actually had this connected to the system. Oh, I just slide this off maybe. There's some clips there, and then I assume there's some clips on the back side. Yeah, this just kind of slides off, I think. There we go. So these clips here just kind of had to pry them apart gently. Throw those in the bin. I'll have to remember which way they go on when I redo this. Got some nice electrolytic caps there, through-hole caps. Nice. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to look for connectors for this cable. It's going to be a pain in the butt unless I source a good cable and desolder this, solder the new cable on, which is probably going to be easier. Although the other alternative is I can solder these directly to the board instead of using this connector. I may end up doing that instead. So first thing I'm going to try doing is, does this boot turn or slide at all? I don't think it does. Oh, maybe. Those do. Does this bottom piece come loose? If I can loosen that up, then I can put some super glue on it when I put it back together. Okay, well, you know what? I've got some new cords coming, so we're just going to start by cutting this wire here. We're going to cut it right. You know what? I'm going to cut below. Yeah, we're going to cut below because I'm going to desolder this later. And the other thing I'm going to do while we're at it is I'm going to disconnect these, maybe. Well, don't tell me that's all soldered in and I can't take it apart without desoldering it. But it kind of looks like that's the case. Unless there's a way to disconnect that. I don't think there is. No, that's not. I don't think it's worth it. I could end up snapping it off, and I don't feel like desoldering these. So I'm just going to wipe this off with some alcohol, and that'll be good as new as far as those are concerned. Okay. Alright, and the buttons. That is so crazy. I've never seen anything like this before with how the buttons connect. They connect just like that, though. It's interesting. So this is essentially these pads here are carbon conductors, and they press down here to form the circuit to join these two pads together. With this one, there's no carbon pads on the bottom of here. It's all right here. I can imagine this would wear out. I have to imagine it would, but it hasn't so far. So credit to Microsoft where credit's due. And then we'll dump the these have some screws in it. Let's dump these out. Take a look at our buttons here. Ah, that's why. Alright, so there's black, white, A, B, X, and Y. And there's our start and select. And you know what, we'll throw these in there for good measure. I'm just going to get some new ones though. And now we've got to take these screws out to get at the D pad. There we go. That feels like it was very odd design, that is. But there's our controller. Curious to see how this is going to clean up. Got some pretty good luck with the nice soapy water. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to see if I can slide this boot off. All right, well, almost all right. Well, it's not terrible if I can get that out. All right, you can see it focuses. There you go. All right, we've got our boot, which we do need, just with a little bit of elbow grease there. Now our brake is right here. So what I need to do is I do need to cut it here. Get this excess garbage to the side, and to I have to figure out if I can move that, because I don't know if I'm gonna have enough room with the boot. Can I slide this on? Let's see. Just kind of twisting it in ever so gingerly, kind of threading it on. All right, we're almost through. See if this comes through with the whole thing or not. Come on. Really want to get the outer shielding to come through too, not just the inner. But you know what, if I can't get it all, I can't get it all. That's okay, as long as all the wires come through. Oh, there's some of that shielding. I have a feeling that it's stuck on the outer shell here. Let's see if we can coax it through. Hope I'm not crimping the wire as I'm doing this. That would be unfortunate. Well, almost got it. Well, dang. Well, I don't know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut the shielding out. And we're just going to make this work. Worst case, here's a new cable or a new controller. Dang. Okay. There's that. Here's hoping this goes through a little easier. It's not as rubbery. That's much better. Okay, well, hopefully that is enough wire. I don't know if it is. Let me put this back on here just to see what kind of clearance we're working with here with that boot. I might have to, well, what? Without moving that piece there, I think we're about as far as we're going to get. So it's really not that much clearance, but it's not terrible. Get that shielding up there. What I might be able to do, now that we've effectively cut off the bad part, we've bypassed it, which is this area here. Theoretically, we can join these to one another again, as they are. I can just put the boot here, and we connect our wires up like that. But what I'm going to need is I have to join the ground too. Interesting. So I'm going to have to join the ground on the outside of the cable. And then I might try to find a way to solder these all together. That I've tried to do in the past, and it's quite challenging. So unless I can find, whatever this is, 22 gauge, 23 gauge, probably 23 gauge butt connectors, I might just be looking for a new cable. So I'm gonna see if I can find some butt connectors for this style, for this size cable, and see if we can do that, because I really don't feel like soldering those together. I think now that we got the boot set, this isn't gonna move too terribly much. Yeah, we'll see. As long as we're not throwing it around anywhere, should be fine. But let's see if we can find some connectors, because those are going to be a pain to try to solder together. And I don't have much to work with. So if the butt connectors don't work, I can try soldering them with some heat shrink and see what we can do with that. But that'll be for a different day. Well, got got the original Xbox controller here with the busted cable, and I'm going to try something new tonight that I've never tried before. And it's these little shrink-wrapped connectors. And essentially what you're supposed to do is cut your cables, slip them in here, slip the other end in here after you clip the ends, and then you just heat them up. And that's supposed to create the connection. So rather than stripping all of them and soldering them together, I'm going to give this a shot. Now, I'm looking at this and thinking I might want to disconnect this first anyway, just that I don't have to heat it up in an awkward angle. So I am going to do that now. Plug in our desoldering gun, and we're going to give ourselves some suction. Now, this is going to be necessary even if I don't end up using this cable. This is going to be, I'm just going to give it a try and see if it works. I'm not sure if those are going to be too stiff to even keep in there after I'm done, so we will see. But doesn't hurt to try, right? I'm going to turn on my suction. Okay. Love it. Well, let's give this a shot. Use some helping hands. So, your cheek gun, you're gonna turn it way, way down. I turned down to like 300. Try it on the ground first. We're kind of on 350 here. About to 400. Well, so far, not so impressed by these wires. How do you set them? It's actually, I'm leaning towards no. Not really anything keeping them together. I just realized my battery is about to die. I'll be right back. Well, while my battery was dying on my phone, I did try another one of these, and can't really tell from here, but I'm hoping I can catch it on one of these other cords. But when I heated it up this time, I think it's filled. This little core is filled with solder, and once that melts, it fills this gap here. So I am going to try. I think what happened is these are thicker cables, so they're absorbing more of the heat. I mean, the ground one makes perfect sense, although that one I don't think I'll have to do is too much. But I am going to try heating these a little bit more, and I'm going to try these on the rest of the wires as well. And I might change my feels on these things after all. We'll see. But what I am going to do is I'm going to try putting all of these into their respective sheaths. I don't know what you want to call them. Wraps. They're shrink wraps, so that makes sense. Okay. Get that in the middle. And I'll try our green wire. We'll have to bend under here. Okay, and a red wire, which is going to be a little more difficult. I might do that one last. Yeah, I think we're going to try doing that one last. So we're going to try green and white now. Yep. Okay, we're going to turn the suction back on. Hopefully you can see this in the camera. And we're up to about 400 here. Look good. So first thing we're going to do is heat the outside. So it seals the edges. Okay, here we go. Shrinking and there. And I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but you can see some solder is actually coming out of that little bubble. So that little, I don't know what to call it. I'm actually going to turn this up to 450. See if I can get that to come out on the black wire. Come on. I might want to give it up. Well, I think they're tight enough. It just make me feel like it's got a good connection without it leaking, without it releasing that solder. I'll try it on this one. Alright, well, calling it good enough on those. Let's see if I can smooth this around a little bit. With that red wire taken care of. More. This, clearly some of this is on focus for me. Alright. Red wire. I'll turn the temp up to 500. See if I can get that to melt on those big cables, which is I think 22 gauge. 24 seem to be just fine. There we go. I think it's starting though. There we go. Okay. See how it does on this ground one. There we go. Get that one finally released. Let's see if I can get that. Well. Alright. I'm feeling that good. Really don't want to melt the wires. Okay. So, I can't say it's pretty, but if it works, then it works. So, we're now going to try putting this back in. And just solder it together. So everything fits. Well, it's very good. Yep. Oops, and flick those over. Well, that caused me some trouble, so I had them on the wrong way. Okay. Yes. Yep. See if this fits here now. Seems like it does. Okay. I've got the controller itself, or the shell, in the dishwasher right now, or in the in the soapy bath. But I can use my new joystick, new joysticks, yeah. And see how this works. Try to wipe my hand off. Well, she works like a charm now, so I guess I am a believer in these these little connectors. So I'm gonna finish washing up the rest of the controller, and we'll get her put back together. Okay, we're gonna do some finishing touches on this Xbox controller here before I put it all back together. And one of the things I'm gonna do is get around these little crevices with some alcohol. some of these edges still had some dirt on it, which sometimes happens when you got sharp corners like this. But some alcohol usually does the trick. Okay, I think that's looking a lot better. Way better than it was, that's for sure. All right. Wow, they actually have, it's the first time I've seen this, X, Y, B, A. The first time I've actually seen more than just the key, but it actually tells you inside the shell where they all go. I wonder if they stopped doing that after the Xbox. They started and stopped with it, I guess. Well, I guess this is Microsoft's first foray really into the home gaming space. So, and then black and white. Looks like it's black. And it goes down here. Good to go. Now this piece, I think I need my I think I need some screws because now that's still got some nastiness in it. We're going to clean that out real quick. Our alcohol wipe, though I don't think you'll see much of it because it'll be on the inside, but can't hurt. Doesn't hurt to be more thorough, even if no one's going to see it. Okay, now this clips on, this goes on the outside, yep, like that. Remembering all this is coming back to me now. I'm going to take our wipe, just make sure the inside of that is good. Same with this one, you can see some dirt in there. Okay. That sits just like that after I clicked it in through the front. Now I need to screw those screws in here. See if they're magnetic. Survey says no, they are not. At least not with that screwdriver. One more time. Hey, oh, there we go. Oh, come on. We're good to go there. Oops. Well, that was it. Oh. Minor setback. Ugh. Try this again. Okay, there we go. We're going to set that over to the side. So I was able to kind of salvage one of them, but I did put the replacement ones in. Might as well just, if I'm going to do one, I might as well do them both, but see how this fits now. What's missing here? Nothing. There we go. Much better. Okay. I have to look for some additional screws here. Seeing which ones I'm missing. Okay, first things first, put our vibration motor in. I have to say I do really appreciate the removability of these. That's really nice. I've taken apart quite a few controllers and not most of them seem to opt for soldering them all on. So these, and I know probably was a cost issue. It's probably not as cost effective to have those connectors as it is to solder them on, but man, so nice. Okay. Well, she's looking good. The only thing that I'm slightly worried about is if this cord gets yanked. I'm not really clamping it down with anything, so I might come back here and maybe I can put a ring around that, or like some type of fastener. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I like that so far. Okay. Let's screw it back into place. 99% sure these are the right screws. Having a lot of different projects going on at the same time recently. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, I'm kind of wondering where the other ones came from. I may have to look back at my recording to see where I did happen to put those. Oops. But I do have 7 screws of the same type, so I'm pretty confident that this is it. Okay. Tighten that up a little bit more. Feels solid, feels tight, except for that one. There we go. Well, time to plug her in and see how she does. Well, I apparently did have too many projects going at the same time because I neglected to record it actually working. But it did in fact work, and worked just like a charm. So I appreciate you watching this refurb video, and as always, Don't forget to like and subscribe.